Well, the statistics are beyond horrifying, and I think every member of the administration that has their finger in the decisions that are leading to those kinds of statistics will one day have to answer to their God or to their beliefs. Now, look, we all understand that not every single asylum seeker may have a credible claim under our laws. But to willfully put people, families, innocent children and women in danger of their lives, of being trafficked, it's horrifying. But I also want to go back to Julia's point about what Stephen Miller is now harboring or bringing to light. It's really amazing. He serves an administration that ostensibly believes in smaller government and worries about the big hand of government. There is a reason why there is this hard barrier between HHS and ICE, right? You have a responsibility to protect refugees and children. And that is why you keep ICE. If you start to break down that barrier, what's to stop that slippery slope? And it's, to me, just amazing that Stephen Miller continues to have such a control, and also just this really is heartless, seems too light a word, but is so focused on making sure no immigrant, no matter what reason, comes into this country. And by the way, it was Stephen Miller's policy and a DHS that caused the separation of children from their families. So all of this is really mystifying in a very, it's like, we're Americans. We are better than this. And right now, this administration is showing the rest of the world, and especially to those families, that we have lost our way.
Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on the button below for more from The Last Word and the rest of MSNBC.